Narrator, calm yet commanding tone. Have you ever wondered why some people become unforgettable, while others vanish from memory like smoke in the wind? Why some captivate hearts, while others are discarded without thought? The problem, my dear listener, is not in beauty nor in fortune, but in the strategy of influence. Tonight, I reveal how to make anyone obsessed with you through the ruthless wisdom of Machiavelli. Narrator, deep, deliberate tone. Power begins not with strength, nor with charm, but with mystery. To be mysterious is to awaken the hunger of others, to make them restless, to keep them guessing. Think for a moment, what drives man more, the possession of what he fully understands, or the pursuit of what he cannot yet grasp? The truth, my listener, is simple. Certainty kills desire. Mystery breeds it. When you reveal yourself completely, you become ordinary. You are like an open book, easy to read, quickly discarded, soon forgotten. But if you shroud yourself in silence, if you keep your thoughts guarded and your heart locked, you become a puzzle, and men and women alike cannot resist puzzles. They will devote their attention, their energy, even their obsession to solving what is hidden before them. Understand this well. People are not drawn to what is common, but to what feels rare. A diamond is valuable because it is scarce. So too must you make your soul appear scarce. Every detail of yourself that you give away freely is a piece of gold tossed to the crowd. With every confession, every unguarded truth, every careless word, you cheapen your value. But when you restrain yourself, when you let only fragments slip through, the world begins to wonder. And that wonder, my friend, is the seed of obsession. Consider the court of a prince. The ruler who speaks too often, who explains every action, who seeks to be understood by all. He diminishes himself. His subjects come to believe they know him, and in knowing him, they no longer fear nor revere him. Yet the prince who cloaks his motives, who leaves questions unanswered, who smiles without revealing the reason, such a prince is whispered about in every corner. Every man speculates, every woman wonders. His silence becomes thunder. His mystery becomes his throne. In the realm of desire, the same law applies. If you wish someone to think of you long after you have left the room, you must leave behind shadows, not clarity. Speak in hints. Share only fragments of your story. Allow them to fill the silence with their own imagination. And know this, imagination is far more powerful than reality. The fantasies they build of you will always be greater than the truth. Beware, mystery does not mean coldness. If you give nothing, you inspire nothing. The art lies in balance, a glimpse here, a smile there, a sudden silence that makes them ache for more. It is the dance of revelation and concealment, the rhythm of showing just enough to ignite the fire and hiding enough to make it burn hotter. Remember, what is easily obtained is rarely valued. What is difficult to uncover, what is shrouded in secrecy, what forces the mind to labor over its meaning, this is what chains the heart. This is how you make them lean forward when you speak, how you make them replay your words in the solitude of night, how you make them crave the next moment with you as a starving man craves bread. Mystery is the architect of obsession. Guard it, shape it, wield it. For in the shadows you cast, others will lose themselves searching for the light that only you control. Narrator, measured, calculating tone. Obsession is not born in constant pleasure. It is not created by showering another with unbroken affection. No, obsession is born from imbalance, an intoxication of reward followed by the sting of withdrawal. To master this is to hold another's heart in your hand, tightening and loosening your grip at will. Understand this, human beings are creatures of craving. The mind does not worship what is always present. It worships what appears and vanishes, what touches and retreats. The beggar does not desire bread if bread is given every day. He desires bread most fiercely when it is given once and then withheld. The same law governs love, loyalty, and desire. If you wish to make someone obsessed with you, do not give them the comfort of predictability. Instead, create a rhythm of sweetness and silence, warmth and distance. Let your presence become a luxury, not a habit. When you grant them attention, let it be powerful, intoxicating. Make them feel as though the sun itself has turned its face upon them. but do not linger too long. Withdraw suddenly, vanish without explanation. Leave them in the cold after they have tasted your fire, and watch how their mind begins to ache for your return. This technique is no accident of nature. It is the very same principle that governs the fiercest addictions. The gambler does not sit at the table because he wins every hand. He sits because he wins once, then loses, then wins again. It is uncertainty, the oscillation between reward and emptiness, that chains him to the game, and so it is with the human heart. Imagine, for instance, you grant someone your time, your laughter, your closeness. For a brief span, you make them feel as if they are the only being in your world. Their soul rises, their pride swells, but then, without warning, you retreat. Your voice falls silent, your presence disappears. They are left to wander in confusion, replaying every word, every glance, wondering what went wrong. This torment is not cruelty, it is control. For in your absence, they do not forget you, they remember you more, and when you finally return, when you offer once more that intoxicating spark, the relief floods them with gratitude, with hunger, with deeper dependence. They cling tighter, for they fear the silence that may come again. Thus, every cycle of reward and withdrawal binds them more securely to you. You become not merely a person in their life, but the source of their emotional weather, storm and calm, drought and rain. Yet take care, for this must be done with precision. Too much neglect, and they may turn bitter. Too much reward, and they grow indifferent. The art is in the balance. Enough warmth to ignite their desire, enough absence to make them suffer for it. Do this well, and you will no longer chase their attention. They will chase yours endlessly, desperately, as a thirsty man chases water. In this way, you are no longer equal. You are elevated. You are not merely desired, you are depended upon. Your presence becomes the remedy for the very ache you created. Your withdrawal becomes the shadow that drives them back into your light. Narrator's smooth, deliberate, almost hypnotic tone. Men and women do not fall in love with strangers, they fall in love with themselves, reflected back through another. To make someone obsessed with you, you must learn the ancient art of the mirror. For nothing binds the heart more fiercely than seeing its own image in another's gaze. Consider how most people move through life. They crave to be understood, to be recognized, to be seen not as they are, but as they wish to be. The world seldom grants this gift. Friends fail to notice, lovers fail to listen, families dismiss, society ignores. And so, when someone finally appears who reflects their hidden self, who echoes their thoughts, who seems to understand without judgment, the effect is overwhelming. They feel chosen, they feel elevated, they feel alive in a way they never did before. But what they do not realize is this: they are not loving you, they are loving themselves through you. To wield this weapon, you must listen with intensity. Study their words, their gestures, their ambitions, their weaknesses. Do not rush to reveal your own mind. Instead, shape your presence to resemble theirs. If they hunger for greatness, speak as though greatness already flows in their blood. If they long for kindness, show them a reflection of their own virtue in your eyes. If they hide wounds and pain, echo that pain with silent understanding. In your company, they must feel as though they are looking into a mirror more flattering than any they have ever stood before. Notice how lovers often say, "You understand me better than anyone else." This is the highest form of praise, and yet it is built on illusion. To be understood is to be disarmed. To be mirrored is to be enslaved. They will return to you not because of who you truly are, but because of the rare comfort of being seen as they wish to be. This, my friend, is not affection, it is dependency. Think of the courtier who flatters a prince. He does not argue, he does not contradict. Instead, he mirrors the prince's desires, making him believe his thoughts are wise, his rule is just, his image magnificent. In truth, the courtier is weaving chains, the prince, blind to the trick, grows addicted to the presence of one who constantly affirms his greatness. And so it is with desire. When you mirror, you are not simply liked, you are needed. But remember, a mirror must never be too obvious. If you imitate too directly, you appear false. The art is subtlety. Reflect enough for them to feel recognized, but not so much that they see the trick. Let them believe it is coincidence, destiny, or some rare connection written in the stars. People do not resist manipulation when they believe it to be fate. And here lies the secret. The deeper you mirror, deeper they fall. Their laughter becomes your laughter, their passions become your passions, their fears become your fears. Slowly, they cease to distinguish between where they end and where you begin. They do not crave you because of who you are. They crave you because you have become the vessel that carries their own reflection back to them. Narrator low, steady, commanding tone. Nothing enslaves the human heart more completely than the terror of losing what it desires. To hold power over another, you must not only awaken their longing, you must awaken their fear. For desire alone makes them reach for you, but fear of loss makes them clutch you with desperation. Think carefully. People rarely treasure what they believe they cannot lose. A jewel passed from hand to hand soon feels ordinary, but a jewel locked away, threatened by thieves, grows priceless in the mind of its owner. The same is true of affection. If they believe you are theirs completely, without condition, without threat of departure, their attachment weakens. But if you let them sense, even faintly, that you could vanish, that others could take you, that you are not bound to them by chains, they will hold you tighter than ever. This fear must be cultivated carefully. You must never declare it openly, for bluntness breeds defiance. Instead, plant it subtly, like poison slipped into wine. Speak of how fleeting life is, how easily people drift apart, how quickly fortunes change. Let them see that your presence is not guaranteed. Allow rivals to glance at you, allow admirers to hover. Let whispers circulate that your attention could be claimed elsewhere. Each seed of uncertainty you sow will bloom into torment within their mind. Observe lovers when jealousy takes root. A smile exchanged with a stranger, a moment of absence, a delayed reply. Such trivial things become daggers to the heart. They imagine betrayal where none exists, and in their panic they clutch tighter, they plead harder, they invest themselves more fully in keeping what they fear to lose. This, my friend, is not weakness. On your part, this is strategy. Understand that human nature is paradoxical. The more secure people feel, the more they drift. The more threatened they feel, the more they fight to keep what they value. By allowing them to believe that you might be taken from them, you make yourself appear priceless. Scarcity breeds obsession, while abundance breeds neglect. Do not think this method applies only to love. It governs loyalty, friendship, even power itself. Subjects cling to a ruler most fiercely not when he is generous, but when they fear his rule could end. Soldiers fight most desperately when they believe the loss of a leader would plunge them into ruin. Fear of loss sharpens devotion like a blade sharpens resolve. And so, in the game of desire, you must become both gift and threat. A gift because your presence intoxicates, a threat because your absence would devastate. Speak with warmth, but cloak yourself in uncertainty. Give them joy, but let the shadow of departure linger at the edge of every embrace. In their hearts, they must believe that losing you would not simply wound them, it would destroy them. Thus, their obsession will not be born of simple attraction, but of survival itself. You will no longer be one among many. You will become the irreplaceable, the one treasure they cannot risk surrendering, the possession they will guard with sleepless vigilance, for to lose you is to lose themselves. Narrator firm, slow, authoritative tone. You now possess the 4 instruments of obsession, the power of mystery to ignite curiosity that never dies, the art of reward and withdrawal to keep them chained to your presence, the mirror of desire to make them see themselves in you, and the fear of loss to bind them with chains stronger than love itself. Understand, these are not the tools of the weak, nor of the naive. They are the weapons of those who wish to rule the hearts of others, not merely to win them. For obsession is not love. Obsession is power. The choice is yours. You may use these arts to entertain, to seduce, to conquer, or you may turn away, fearing the weight of such mastery. But know this, those who dare to wield them will never walk forgotten. They will never be ordinary. They will live not as fleeting figures in memory, but as shadows that linger, voices that echo, fires that never burn out in the minds of others. This is how you make anyone obsessed with you, not by chance, not by beauty, not by fortune, but by design.